So tell me real quick then, how can a youth pastor then, what are some incremental ways that you think that youth pastors can raise the bar, small changes they can make?
Mhm.
And, really why, we've talked a lot about the reasons why they should make them, but it's
Yeah,
okay. It bears repeating why they should make the small changes you're going to ask them to make.
absolutely. Was that, I mean, I have the kind of those three C's in front of me that I use in coaching young youth pastors. One of those is first thing is communication. Making sure that your communication is constant, consistent, and clear, always. And making sure that you go back, do a quick grammar check. It's not going to download Grammarly, pay the money, but don't send out emails that are, that are just look like there was somebody from a 10th grader sent them out and they had to spell check them. Competence, just presenting yourself in a way that shows that you can do your job and you're good at your job. Something that I do is we put out a year-long calendar so parents know and they can plan ahead for what we do. So every September we sit down with a calendar. We have the big rocks. Obviously, don't want every little thing, but the big events for every single month. And then we already have camps, summer camps, retreats, of conferences, mission trips, all planned out all the way for a year ahead. But that just shows competence. Like, oh, this person thought and planned ahead. Something that I do personally, and we've done for many years, is I have a scope and sequence of teaching so that parents know exactly what I'm teaching over the full entire year. And actually, we've created an 8-year scope and sequence. So 5th to 12th grade, they know when we're teaching, how we're teaching it, what topics we'll cover, in what order. Very similar to what the education model is of scope and sequence, statewide standards. And what happens is just shows the parents like, oh, they're thinking ahead about me. And it's simple. I mean, scope and sequence is a bit harder to develop, but it's something that you can do even if you have curriculum. You have scope and sequence a lot of times in your curriculum, just share it. I think another thing is just that idea that we are there and we're presenting character. That when a parent talks to us, brings a complaint to us, we address them back as a fellow adult, look them in the eye, respond to them. But the awe, the no response just shows a lack, so just presents itself as a lack of character. And those are those couple of things like, oh, okay, they're willing to engage me, hear my critique, which is hard, let's be real, but they're willing to listen. Honestly, we even invite conversations of listening. Like, how can we sit down and listen to you? We have 3 key parent meetings a year. And part of that parent meeting is just listening. We want to hear from you. I know I've presented all my information. Tell us what we can do better, what you love to see happen. And then we try to invite conversations. Hey, can I have you out for coffee? We spend a lot of times as youth pastors going out with students, going to schools, wherever we can do, wherever we're allowed to do in our culture currently. But it's always a welcome to call it, a fellow dad and say, hey, I'm going to take you out for coffee. Or if you're not a dad, calling a dad and saying, hey, can I have an hour of your time to buy a cup of coffee? I would love to hear about your life, your family. And then also just, I would love to hear some feedback of what we're doing in youth ministry. And it's hard to hear some of those things, but immediately buys a whole lot of confidence and it shows character.